tonight at the 77th Uhrzeit since my father was nifte. And it brings us.
What year was it?
He passed away in 1936, and it brings me back to the scenes at home, like it would happen today. My father it didn't feel good, like a year and a half before he passed away, but in Zmigrod, nobody went to a doctor. When I was bar mitzvah in 6th day in Tammuz, a year before, he was already not well.
So it was 1935 with your bar mitzvah.
Yes, he wasn't well, and then when he went to the doctor Fischler. He was the only Jewish doctor, and he, according to what he had, stomach aches, and he couldn't eat, and he used to all the food used to come back.
Throw it up.
Not count, repeat the food that he ate, and he became very pale. His he started to get weaker. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor determined right away that he has cancer. But in order to make sure to get an X-ray, you could have do it only in Tarnów, which was 70 kilometers from Zmigrod, and they traveled there by horse and wagon, and it took like 10 hours to get to Tarnów. Around the I think the Yom Tovim already, he didn't go to shul, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. He was home. In around Cholomoitz, Sukkot, Mali took him to Tarnów, and there he was so weak, and he went to the hospital to make an X-ray. Röntgen, they called it then, and they determined that he has cancer, and his stomach already 3 years old, and 3 years is since he got it, and they gave him like 3 months to live. We never told my father that he had cancer. We said he had, but I guess they didn't talk, but he imagined himself. But I think his father, Naftula, died too of cancer. My father was then 58 years old. When he came back, the only from Tarnów, Mali was like, Mali always talked how hard it was. Nobody wanted, no hotel wanted to admit him to sleep because he was so pale and looked bad. He came back, and the only thing is that they gave him drops on a piece of sugar to
painkiller?
The painkiller,
morphine?
Morphine. This was the only things. And to eat, he used to give back the food, and had difficulties moving his bowels. He used to sit and try, and I don't wish any enemy the pain that he had, but we coped. He was mostly, he didn't go out all the time, and people used to come to visit him. Mali in Manya used to take turns to sit by him at night. And my mother usually used to get up very early to bake, to make the bread or the challah like 3 o'clock in the morning, Friday sometimes too, so they went to sleep. And this affected all our lives in the family, because we all knew we didn't tell him. People used to come visit him when they asked him what is wrong, he said, "Ask my daughters, they know." And when it came, the last Seder, Pesach, we were sitting and everybody was crying. He, in middle of the Seder, he had to go to try to move his bowels. I remember he could have eaten orange or sometimes cherries that they used to take the sour cherries, and when it was the season to put in sugar, and then they used to eat like a treat, was it, the cherries all year round when it got when they got like a little alcohol. It says this he could eat, and when it came Pesach, it was already he almost was staying in bed and having terrible pains. And one time he called me and he said to me, I know that I cannot learn by myself Mishnayos. I should ask somebody, I should learn for him Mishnayos every day. And when it came the last night, this was Sunday night, but like this year, it was on Sunday. The first time, other from Biker Cholim, two Buchirim came to stay up at night. Mechur Lang and Shaya Hersh Einhorn, and it came like, I don't exactly after midnight. We were all woken up, and his sister lived in Fravel lived in the same house but on the other side, and his sister Miriam lived like 4 houses away, and they came to, and we all stand around his bed, and we know it's already the end. He started to perspire, and at one point he started the gesis to what's the English word?
To go into a coma.
To a coma, like deep breath, and so his sister started to scream, "Do it," very strongly. And he woke up and said to them, "Verwus lasst ihr mich nicht sterben? This means, why don't you let me die?" And it didn't take a minute, and he fell again in a coma, and he stopped breathing, and it didn't take too long, and he died on his bed. And all the to make sure. We didn't call a doctor to this, but they used to put a feather to his nose. If it doesn't move, they knew that he stopped breathing. And the custom was when a man died, they used to close his eyelashes and put him on the floor with his foot to the door. And this was on a Monday. And usually
Wordt toch gebrengt en later
usually, yeah, usually the tahara used to be made in the room. In the Chaver tradition came in the casket in the Hara was in an annex near the shul, and this they used to carry all the town people to the cemetery, and when there weren't huge pots of water, and the pots that we used to boil the laundry. And Mali said, my father doesn't like very hot water.
You were using the pots of water for what?
For warming, to make the tahara. They used to take very...
The Chaver Kadisha wouldn't have their own pots for doing this?
No. Everybody had pots where they used to boil laundry. It was huge pots. And when they finished putting him in the Tachrichim, in the talis, they called us in. We should bait Mechila.
This was all done in your house? Or
In our house. This was, everything was done in the house. We didn't have like here in funeral home. Usually the people used to carry, the custom was when a Levian passed, the storefront used to close, and there used to be somebody, one man who used to go around with a pushka and say "Stuka Tatzelmumus" and collect money. It's already in the first time that I went outside the place where the women most of the people used to go to the end of the town and then go back. Like
on the way to the cemetery.
On the way, women never went to the cemetery. Only men used to carry on their shoulders to the cemetery the deceased. In the first time that I walked, because I was a Kohen, I was never walking besides the outside the houses from the town. There was something like a kilometer to walk to the cemetery, and usually young men used to change. 4 people used to carry, and on the way they used to say Yosef B'Sayser Elyon, and somebody came. Maybe Carol is there. So, and then we were sitting Shiva. I think Carol is here. Yeah. Okay, so we were sitting Shiva, which was for us, the whole household wasn't as it was since then. And it's affected all of us, our father's death. Okay.